Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to StampPatties.com. Today I'm going to be working with the brand new wreath kit found in our Occasions mini catalog. Can't wait to show you how to put this thing together. Okay, for our simply created burlap blooms kit, you will see that you get a color photo as well as all of the pieces that you are going to need to put this item together. The only additional items you are going to need is a hot glue gun and one of our fantastic bone folders. Are you ready to get started? Let's do it. The first thing that I've done is I've taken all of the pieces and I have popped them out of the die cut die cut sheets, and put them by color and by size. This will help us to organize our flowers. The first piece that we're going to be working with is we're going to be creating our fringed flowers using these that are already pre-fringed for us. Okay, we're going to start first with our fringed flowers. I'm going to show you how this is done. You're going to be taking your pieces that are perforated. They have the beautiful watercolor Wonder Designer Series paper printed on them. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to fold it in half with the printed side facing up. You're going to notice that there are two adhesive strips, one on the inside and one on the outside. Once you get it folded in half, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to peel back the protective paper on the sticky strip, and you're going to go ahead and you're going to stick that together. You're going to do that for all three of the ones that are the same pattern, and you're also going to peel the outside piece. From here, we're going to start rolling the flower. We're going to roll in towards the sticky side. So we're going to want to start kind of tight and go ahead and just start rolling that flower. Keep rolling, rolling until you get to the ends. Oops, hopefully this is videoing okay. Once you have reached the end, you're going to grab your second one, which I have already unstuck, and we're going to continue right where we left off, and we're going to wrap that one around as well. You're going to do that until you get to the end, and then you're going to add the third one. Okay, so what I've done is the pool party, I used all three of my strips and I glued them together to make one big flower. When you get them all put together, go ahead and fan out your flower to make it a little fuller. I did the same with the Tangerine Tango. I used all three pieces. When I got to the Smoky Slate flowers, I did two for one of the flowers and then just used one strip to make a smaller flower. And then the Daffodil, I did the same thing. Two strips to make a medium-sized flower and one strip to make a small flower. We're going to put those aside and we're going to work with our next flower. Okay, so we're going to work on our yellow flower first. You have popped out all of your little circular cutout pieces, and you'll notice that there's a slot in them. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to be taking your bone folder. I held mine on the slot, and then I kind of just curled the paper a little so it would make it easier to work with. So you're going to do that on each of your yellow papers. Once you get all of that done, you're going to put I put just a little dab of glue to the right side of my slot, and then you're going to take this left side and make it go over the right, and you're going to hold it with your finger for just a second, and it makes like this little cup, okay? And you're going to do that with all of your circular pieces, again, so that it makes a little cup, okay? Once you have that done with all of your pieces, which I have already done, it's going to take three of them to get your flower started. So what you're going to do is you're going to put some glue onto the inside of one of the pieces, and then you're going to take another piece and glue it together, and then you're going to do that one more time so that you have three pieces which will create the center of your flower. What we are then going to do is take all the remaining pieces of the flower, put a little bit of glue, sorry it's kind of stringy because it's hot glue, and just keep going around the flower. Okay, we're going to keep building and building the flower until it looks something like this. So you're going to be doing that with your tangerine circular cutouts, your daffodil, and then also with your pool party. So I'm going to go ahead and get my three flowers made, and then I'll be back with you. Okay, so I have created the 4 cupped flowers, for lack of a better term. We have an extra large daffodil, a medium to large daffodil, a pool party, and a tangerine tango. You may have noticed that in your supply package there are 4 smoky slate circular pieces. 3 that are on the small side and 1 that's on the larger side. You are going to be fringing these to put into the center of your flower. So to fringe these, you're going to be using a pair of our Stampin' Up! Paper snips, and you are going to just go in a circular motion around into the center of the flower. Doesn't have to be perfect, okay? But you're going to be doing this all the way around. Be careful not to get too close because you don't want to cut off any of the fringes. Okay, so you're going to do that all the way around on all 4 of the circles. The 3 smaller and then the larger one. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and I'll be back with you. Okay, while you were gone, I went ahead and I fringed my 4 circles. The other thing that I did was in the separate little Ziploc pouch, there were 4 antique buttons and some linen thread, and I went ahead and I threaded each of my buttons. And the buttons are going to get hot glued onto the fringed circles. So I'm going to do that now. Put a little dab of hot glue in the center of each one of these. And go ahead and glue my buttons to them. Just like that. Okay, the next step is going to be to glue these finished pieces to the inside of your cupped flowers. So I'm sure that you can tell that this extra large daffodil flower is going to require the larger of the buttoned pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue in the center of my flower and go ahead and glue that in. And once I have it glued in there, I can go ahead and work with my fringes to get those to stand up a little bit now that it's glued in there. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It's all in, in how you like it. So I'm going to tell you to go ahead and glue your other pieces to the inside of your other 3 cupped flowers. Okay, so while you were away, I did a couple of other things. In your package, you'll see that there are some pieces that make a different kind of flower. And what I did with those pieces was I used my bone folder and I kind of just roughed up the edges a tiny bit and I layered those flowers. Okay, so it will be a smoky slate polka dot, tangerine tango flower, and a pool party flower. Also in that little Ziploc bag, you should have found a couple of our little silver brads, so that would allow you to join these flowers together. So what I'm going to do now is we are ready to start wrapping our wreath with our burlap. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'm going to start hot gluing all of the flowers onto the wreath. So when I come back, we're going to have a finished wreath. Okay, everyone, here we are. I have gone ahead and wrapped the cardboard frame with our burlap, and I have glued all of my pieces onto my wreath. Here's what the finished product looks like. You will find that you had also had an extra little strap of burlap, and that is to create a hanger for the back. So all I did was take that, loop it around, and glued it to the back. And voila, we now have our finished, simply created wreath that will adorn your home. Your friends will be jealous, and you can say, I made it myself. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please feel free to visit my website, www.stamppatties.com. My store is open 24/7.